Welcome to War Bios, the podcast where we delve into the lives of history's greatest military minds. Born on December 18, 1122 in Waiblingen, a small town in the Duchy of Swabia, Frederick would go on to become one of the most feared and respected emperors of the Holy Roman Empire. The winter of 1122 was particularly harsh, with heavy snowfall blanketing the rolling hills and dense forests of Swabia. It was in this picturesque landscape that Frederick took his first breaths, surrounded by the loving care of his parents, Frederick II, Duke of Swabia, and Judith of Bavaria. The young Frederick's birth marked a significant event for the Hohenstaufen family, whose ancestral castle stood proudly nearby. Growing up, Frederick was immersed in a world of chivalry, politics, and military strategy. His childhood home, the castle of Waiblingen, was a hub of activity, with nobles, knights, and clergy frequently visiting to pay homage to his father or seek counsel on matters of state. The sounds of clanging swords, thundering hooves, and lively debates filled the air, shaping Frederick's early experiences and instilling in him a deep understanding of the complexities of power and leadership. As a member of the Hohenstaufen family, Frederick was destined for greatness. His ancestors had played significant roles in shaping the Holy Roman Empire, and their legacy weighed heavily on his young shoulders. The stories of Charlemagne's conquests, the strategic brilliance of his great-grandfather, Frederick I, Duke of Swabia, and the unwavering commitment to duty demonstrated by his father all contributed to Frederick's formative years. Frederick's education was typical of a noble child of his time. He received training in arms, horsemanship, and chivalry from experienced knights, while also studying Latin, literature, and theology under the guidance of learned clerics. The influence of his educators can be seen in Frederick's later life, where he demonstrated a deep understanding of politics, diplomacy, and military strategy. As Frederick grew older, he became increasingly aware of the complex web of alliances and rivalries that defined the Holy Roman Empire. The investiture controversy had left deep scars on the empire, and the rival claims of various noble families threatened to destabilize the region. He witnessed firsthand the struggles between his father and other powerful nobles, as well as the machinations of the church and the emperor. These experiences taught him the importance of alliances, diplomacy, and strategic maneuvering in the pursuit of power. The young Frederick was also influenced by the stories of his ancestors, who had fought alongside Charlemagne and other great emperors. He heard tales of their bravery, strategic genius, and unwavering commitment to duty, qualities that he would strive to emulate throughout his own life. The legacy of his family's history weighed heavily on Frederick's shoulders, driving him to prove himself as a worthy successor to their name. As Frederick grew older, he became increasingly involved in the politics of the Holy Roman Empire. His father, Frederick II, Duke of Swabia, played a significant role in shaping his early experiences, introducing him to the complexities of power and leadership. The young Frederick was especially drawn to the stories of his ancestors, who had fought alongside Charlemagne and other great emperors. He heard tales of their bravery, strategic genius, and unwavering commitment to duty, qualities that he would strive to emulate throughout his own life. In 1147, Frederick's father died, and he succeeded him as the Duke of Swabia. This marked a significant turning point in Frederick's life, as he now had the opportunity to prove himself as a leader. He quickly demonstrated his military prowess by leading successful campaigns against the neighboring Duchy of Bavaria. His victories earned him recognition and respect from his peers, and he began to build a reputation as a skilled and fearless commander. One of Frederick's most notable early successes was his participation in the Second Crusade. In 1147, he joined King Conrad III of Germany on a campaign to retake the Holy Land from Muslim forces. Although the crusade ultimately failed to achieve its goals, Frederick's experiences during this time had a profound impact on his development as a leader. He witnessed firsthand the complexities of international politics, the importance of alliances, and the challenges of waging war in foreign lands. Upon his return from the Second Crusade, Frederick turned his attention to consolidating his power within the Holy Roman Empire. He formed strategic alliances with other noble families, including the powerful Habsburgs, and began to build a network of loyal supporters. His charisma, intelligence, and military prowess made him an attractive ally, and he quickly became a dominant force in imperial politics. In 1152, Frederick's reputation and influence earned him the crown of King of the Romans, marking the beginning of his rise to imperial power. He was crowned by the Archbishop of Mainz, and his election was confirmed by the imperial diet. As king, Frederick faced numerous challenges, including rival claims to the throne, rebellious nobles, and the ever-present threat of external invasion. Despite these obstacles, Frederick proved himself to be a shrewd and effective leader. He implemented a series of reforms aimed at strengthening the empire, including the creation of a more efficient administrative system and the promotion of trade and commerce. His military campaigns were highly successful, and he expanded the empire's borders through a series of strategic conquests. Frederick's most notable military innovation was his use of heavy cavalry, which became a hallmark of his armies. He recognized the importance of mobility and shock value on the battlefield, and his knights became renowned for their bravery and discipline. The term Barbarossa, which means red beard in Italian, was coined during this time, reportedly due to Frederick's distinctive red beard and his fearsome reputation on the battlefield. His family's legacy, his education, and his experiences during the Second Crusade all contributed to his development as a strategic thinker and a skilled commander. The nickname Barbarossa would become synonymous with bravery, cunning, and military genius, striking fear into the hearts of his enemies and inspiring loyalty in his followers. As Frederick's imperial reign progressed, he faced numerous challenges from within and outside the empire. One of his most significant conflicts was with the Catholic Church, particularly with Pope Alexander III. The Pope was concerned about Frederick's growing power and influence, and the two engaged in a series of bitter disputes over issues such as ecclesiastical appointments and imperial authority. Despite these challenges, Frederick remained a dominant force in European politics. He formed strategic alliances with other leaders, including the King of England and the King of France, and continued to expand the empire's borders through a series of military campaigns. His relationships with other leaders were often complex and multifaceted, reflecting the intricate web of alliances and rivalries that characterized medieval European politics. One notable example of Frederick's diplomatic skills was his relationship with the Byzantine Emperor Manuel I Komnenos. The two leaders formed an alliance aimed at countering the growing threat of the Norman Kingdom of Sicily, and they cooperated on a number of military campaigns in the Mediterranean. This alliance not only reflected Frederick's strategic thinking, but also demonstrated his ability to navigate the complex world of medieval international politics. Frederick's conflicts with the Church continued to simmer throughout his reign, however. In 1159, he was excommunicated by Pope Alexander III, who accused him of violating ecclesiastical privileges and interfering in church affairs. This led to a prolonged period of tension between Frederick and the papacy, during which time he faced opposition from a number of bishoprics and monasteries within the empire. Despite these challenges, Frederick remained committed to his vision for the Holy Roman Empire. He continued to promote trade and commerce, and his military campaigns helped to expand the empire's borders and secure its position as a dominant power in Europe. His legacy as a great leader and a skilled military commander endured long after his death, and he remains one of the most fascinating figures in medieval history. Frederick's later years were marked by a series of personal tragedies, including the death of his wife, Beatrice of Burgundy, and his son, Frederick V, Duke of Swabia. These losses took a significant toll on him, and he became increasingly reclusive in his final years. He died on June 10, 1190, while on crusade in the Holy Land, and was buried in the Church of St. Peter in Antioch. In conclusion, Frederick Barbarossa's life was marked by a series of remarkable achievements and challenges. From his early days as a young nobleman to his rise as one of the most powerful leaders in medieval Europe, he demonstrated a unique combination of military prowess, diplomatic skill, and strategic thinking. His legacy continues to fascinate historians and scholars today, and his impact on the Holy Roman Empire and European history remains unparalleled. That's all for today's War Bios. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, I'm General Biography reminding you to keep marching toward victory.